Hey friends, it's Dave. Thanks for watching. If you're a Canadian like me, I hope you had a great long weekend, and if you're not, well, nobody's perfect. Just kidding. I love all you guys. If you're not and you didn't have a holiday, well, at least we had an up day in the market. That's kind of nice. I know I have a lot of Rocket Lab shareholders among my viewers, so I hope you guys have been enjoying this nice little bull run we've had lately. And if not, just, the overall stock market, I'm sure a lot of us have been benefiting from it over the past month or so. Today, very casual video. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the trades I've made lately and how they've worked out. And I invite you to share down in the comments what you think about this market right now, or any trades you have made, or what you're thinking of investing in. I just like to have that bit of discussion with the viewers. So the title of the video today is specifically in reference to a video I made about a month and a half ago where I shared a Rocket Lab options trade I was going to make. And this was a very risky trade, but I thought it had a lot of potential. I've been watching Rocket Lab stock and as well as the overall company very closely, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware. And I really just felt like I saw an opportunity and it was worth going for it. I did keep the cash value low because it was so risky, but I really wanted to give it a try because it's frankly kind of fun to make these short-term trades, and I really had a lot of confidence in what was going to happen. So before I go into the trade, and I know a lot of you viewers are more long-term traders, which I think is absolutely great. I think for 99.9% of people, a long-term investment is the right move as opposed to trying to make these short-term trades. And just to share a little bit of my philosophy on this, and while I am still long Rocket Lab and a lot of other companies, and I continue to hold my shares long-term, this is just kind of something I do on the side every now and again. And I think where a lot of day traders and short-term traders fall into a trap is they make a good trade, they get a good return maybe, and then it's over, right? And then they're like, well, what now? Well, I guess I've got to try and find the next trade. So then you're like, well, maybe this could be an opportunity. Maybe I could do this. I feel like I have to do something with my money. So let's just try this and that. And then it doesn't work out and then you lose all your gains. I have a bit of a different approach where I do this very rarely because I feel like I basically let the opportunities come to me. So I'm not out there actively looking, thinking to myself, man, I really need to make another short-term options trade or buy a call option or try to make a double this month or even today and get in and out of a trade. I do my thing. I invest long-term. And every now and then, I would say it seems to happen a few times a year, 4, maybe 6, depending on the year. I just feel like an opportunity walks up to me and smacks me in the face and says, like, look at this. This is clearly wrong. There's something going on here. This is a great opportunity. And that's when I might make one of these trades. But I kind of wait for them to happen and wait for that to come to me. And I don't force anything. And I'm extremely happy just being a long-term investor when I don't see one of these trades happening. So that happened once before during the COVID crash. I went big on some bank stocks that really dropped, and I even used margin on it. Worked out amazing. I made a solid sum of money on that one, and it's pretty rare, but sometimes I do these trades. So let's dive into my Rocket Lab call option, as well as some other trading I've done over the past month or so. By the way, if you're watching this, you enjoy space investing content or just space content or just investing content, definitely invite you to subscribe. I come back with videos extremely regularly. Thank you so much to every subscriber who is watching this video. And just to continue on, so first of all, this is our 1-month chart on Rocket Lab. You can see we've had a nice little run since basically the start of May, early May. We've gone from around 3.75, 3.8, all the way up to almost $5 now. Now, this isn't all on Rocket Lab. Partly it's macro markets, as all these factors can come into play, but still extremely happy with this run in the stock. So now that we've seen how the stock has played out over the last month or so, let's roll back to the video I made about a month and a half ago talking about my plan for this trade, and just to kind of Maybe not to brag a little bit, but to brag a little bit. I've been watching Rocket Lab stock very closely for a while, and I just feel like this could be a good move. I like to make these trades kind of for fun almost. I never risk significant portions of my portfolio, but every now and then, maybe I'm a degenerate gambler at heart or something like that. I just kind of like to make a little fun options trade, see if I can get like almost a double. Basically, we're buying a July 21st $4 call, and we're paying 50 cents for that. So basically between now and July 21st, that's a little under 4 months we have, and I'm looking for Rocket Lab to have another bump. I hopefully, even if we see a little bump like to this level here, which would be around $4.50 or $5, we could make a decent return on this investment. Now, keep in mind that even though this is a July 21st expiration date, by no means do you have to hold this until July 21st. And in fact, the goal with this is to unload it well before July 21st. Okay, so now that you have an idea of what the plan was for this past month, and we can see clearly the stock did move, let's check out the results on this trade. Okay, so back in April 6th, as I shared in the previous video, I bought 10 Rocket Lab call options. I paid 50 cents for each one of these. That came out to costing me $500, and the expiry date was about 4 months into the future. I did pay $1.50 in commissions, but that means my cost basis was actually around $4.98. And today I finally did just pull the trigger and sell that option. As I said in the previous video, I did not want to wait for this to get to expiry. I thought it looked very likely like Rocket Lab was going to have a nice little bump over the next couple months at some point, and I just wanted to get my double and get out, and that's pretty much exactly what I did. So we bought these for 50 cents a share, and I'm selling them for 97 cents a share, so just 3 cents less than a double. Unfortunately, I probably could have held out and got a little more because the stock did continue running for the rest of the day, but I'd much rather take my gains and miss out on some of those gains than keep holding on for more and just have it drop and lose it all. So when I set out for a goal, and my goal was pretty clearly to look for a double, when I get it, I try not to get any more greedy and kind of stick to the plan here. So that's exactly what happened. We made $470 on a $500 investment in about a month and a half. You can't really complain about that, even though it's definitely a low monetary value. The percentage return is absolutely amazing, and maybe in the future I would throw even a little bit more money at one of these trades. So total return about $468 US. That means we got about a 194% return in 38 trading days. That's amazing, actually. If you annualize that return in terms of how it would come out for a full year, you're looking at 1,280%. That's really the power of, like, I feel, waiting for these opportunities to come to you and not forcing it. Sometimes you get lucky with these big moves. So if you're curious how the underlying stock did over the same period, that's 28% versus 194%. That can really go to show the power of options and really leveraging those moves. However, do be careful, because this can work against you as well as working for you, and you can find yourself, at the negative 194% instead of negative 28% or something along those lines. Definitely a tool to use with care, and make sure you definitely understand what you're doing. A couple other small moves I made here. I sold a Rocket Lab put for strike price of $4 a share, meaning if the stock was still below $4 per share, I would have to buy it from someone at that $4 per share. Since it was above $4 at the expiry date on May 19th, it expired worthless, and I just kept the whole premium, which was just about $100, so nothing too massive there, but another little $100 American I can add to the account for basically free at the end of the day. Pretty happy with that one as well, and really all these trades worked out pretty well for me. I think that's the power of following one stock extremely closely and getting to know the company and the stock movement and the charts very well. I think it does give you a bit of insight into that versus spreading yourself out with a ton of different companies. By the way, I'm not advising anyone to do any of these short-term trades. It can be extremely risky. You know, everything could be going right for you, and suddenly something completely unrelated to the company itself can really throw the entire stock market out of whack and just ruin your whole trade. You know, something like all of a sudden, let's say President Biden had a health problem or some sort of geopolitical crisis, or, you know, any sort of government crisis. All of a sudden, your company you're trading on is still executing, but over the short term, everything just plunges and you're kind of out of luck, even though you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. So definitely not for the faint of heart, this type of trade. Now, of course, I'm still holding all my original Rocket Lab shares, and I plan to hold them for a long time in the future. So now I'm up pretty solidly on those versus my cost basis. Very happy with that as well. And really just the overall market after a really rough, you know, couple years. At least it's nice to have a good month here and there. We don't know for sure if it's going to stick or if we're going to drop back down to those 3.8 levels that we seem to have some pretty solid support at. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that in the comments below. Do you think this is just a temporary short-term bump, or are we finally now breaking that downtrend and heading back on upwards? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like, hit that notifications bell, all that YouTube stuff. And I hope you have a great week. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.